Hey everyone, my name is Rob. Welcome back to my YouTube channel called The Movie Vault, where I want to help, advise and inform you guys about 4K Blu-ray and DVD collecting. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that little bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I'm back with a new book review today here on the channel. You may have seen a sneak peek of this in my October end of month. This is the absolutely wonderful Back to the Future, The Ultimate Visual History. This is the revised and expanded edition by Insight Editions. This features some really cool stuff. You have a foreword by Michael J. Fox, preface by Christopher Lloyd, introduction by Bob Gale, and an afterword by Robert Zemeckis, the director of the movie. Really cool. Insight Editions. This one is written by Michael Klastorin, who was a production publicist, if that's right, if I'm pronouncing that right, for 2 of the 3 Back to the Future movies, which is really cool. He has a brilliant knowledge of the movies and everything about them, and a really fantastic book. I can't really speak highly enough of this book here by Insight Editions. Really detailed and history on the Back to the Future franchise. I say franchise because we'll talk a little bit about this as we go along, but there's a lot more in this than just the 3 movies. There's some other cool stuff. Really nice release by Insight Editions here. This is a hardcover book, hardcover back and front. You'll be able to see here in the kind of, if I get it right there on the glare of the lights, this Back to the Future, the logo here is embossed and it's glossy as well. If we just jump open real quick to a page here, you'll see that the book has a glossy finish. You're going to see Eric Stoltz in there as well. We'll deal with all that as we're going along. But yeah, the effort and the quality that's put into this book is really unbelievable. Let's talk about what's in the book. I'm going to put it down because it's big and it's heavy here, you guys. Part 1 is obviously up first. We're going to talk about various script drafts, which is really detailed in the various drafts of the script. I mean, did you know the script was rejected about 40 times before the movie was even made? Did you know the time machine was originally on the back of a truck, a pickup truck, before the DeLorean was introduced? Did you also know that the lightning bolt wasn't the original 1.21 gigawatts? That's how that was created. They actually drove the pickup truck with the time machine on the back into the Nevada Atomic Test Site. That was originally in a couple of the early drafts of the script, which is really interesting to find out here in this book. It also features some cool storyboards in here as well. Designing the DeLorean is obviously a huge part of Back to the Future. It's really detailed in the concept designs and all that sort of stuff is in here. It's really cool. Casting the movie is obviously really interesting as well. The shooting schedule is covered in great detail with lots of really cool behind the scenes photos here as well. Now, as we mentioned, Eric Stoltz there, I mean, did you guys know, like, Back to the Future shot for 5 to 6 weeks with Eric Stoltz in the lead as Marty until they decided it wasn't really working. So the whole Michael J. Fox replacing Eric Stoltz is dealt with in the book, and there's some really interesting facts and stuff in there as well. The music, the artwork and more, everything about finishing the movie is also discussed for part 1. As we jump into part 2 here again, we're going to talk about the various script incarnations. Designing the future, how the future is going to look when they jump forward in time is really interesting. Crispin Glover actually decides not to come back for part 2, which is really interesting, so how they kind of dealt with all that in casting. Once again, the shooting schedule is discussed in great detail here with, once again, lots of really awesome behind the scenes photos included in the book. The future vehicle designs and of course that classic hoverboard design and the hoverboard scene. That's so awesome. I really love that in part 2. Okay guys, I'm just going to stop really quick here to let you guys know about my brand new t-shirt store. I've relocated it to a new provider, a new service provider. You can get some cool movie t-shirts like this Picture Start IMAX. You guys know I'm a cinema projectionist, so I have a lot of cool projection related t-shirts that I've worn here on the channel before. Lots of movie related t-shirts. The link is in the description below if you want to head on over. You can pick up a t-shirt, a really cool t-shirt, movie t-shirt, and you can help out the Movie Vault and me in the process. Let's get back to the video. So we jump on to part 3, of course, and once again the shooting schedule in great detail with behind the scenes photo is covered here. Really awesome stuff. The costume design, which is really cool because, you know, we're in the Wild West now, 1885, Hill Valley, awesome stuff. Storyboards as well are covered, and of course that big finale with the train is also covered here for Back to the Future Part 3. There's a whole kind of section now at the end of the book called Beyond, which is why I mentioned at the start of the video that this book covers the franchise, Back to the Future franchise, because, you know, there's been a couple of things more since the movies. Back to the Future, the ride is covered, which is really cool. Back to the Future, the animated series, I don't ever recall seeing this at all. This was really interesting to me. I haven't seen this at all. I'd like to see more or find out more about that. Back to the Future, the musical, is also discussed here, and more recently, a couple of TV show appearances by some of the main cast, and the Zoom reuniting video video that was kind of done, I believe, earlier this year, 2020, which is really awesome to see all that stuff here included in Back to the Future, the Ultimate Visual History. Now, we do get some cool bonus gift features in here within the book. Let me give you guys a sneak peek into some of these cool bonus gift features included with the book. First up, we have the awesome disappearing photo of Marty and his brother and his sister. We have the Save the Clock Tower flyer with Jennifer's phone number on the back, really awesome. Marty's letter to Doc written in the cafe in the first movie. Part 2, the receipt for the Gray's Sports Almanac, really cool. This might be one of my favourite things in the book here, a Jaws 19 replica poster directed by Max Spielberg. From Part 3, here's a cool replica photo of Doc and Marty at the clock. And finally, at the end of Part 3, Doc's old letter to Marty that's delivered 70, 80 years later in the movie. Really, really cool. So as you can see here, guys, Inside Editions have jam-packed this Back to the Future, the Ultimate Visual History revised and expanded edition. This is the second edition of this book. There's some really, really great stuff in here, especially if you're a Back to the Future fan. Inside Editions do some brilliant releases here. I've covered a lot of their stuff on the channel before. I'll leave some links in the description to those books that I've covered, because if you're a movie fan, anything like that, they do some awesome books. I have some more stuff coming up on the channel by them, so I really hope you guys stick around to check those videos out. If you want to pick up a copy of this Back to the Future book, I'll have a link in the description, of course, and I'm going to leave some links on screen here for some other book releases by Inside Editions that I've covered here on the Movie Vault. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you're going to pick this up, or if you're a fan of Back to the Future trilogy. I am, as I said, love this trilogy of movies since I was a kid. Still love them to this day. That's going to do it for the video, guys. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel and hitting that little bell to get notified every time I post a new video, you'll be able to see those videos when I upload before anybody else. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you on the next video.